Okay, starting with the first one, let's number our carbon chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know we have a hex. Okay. Looking at this, we can see that at carbon number 4, we have a triple bond. And then let's see, at carbon number 3, we have an alcohol group. And at, what else do we got? Oh, carbon number 3, we also have a methyl group. Okay. Excellent. So let's put this together. Well, before we put it together, let's take note that at carbon number 3, that's where we can label R or S. This is called stereochemistry. So let's take a look and figure out if we're going to label this R or S. Okay, so the alcohol group is going to be our first group. That gets the highest priority. Our second highest priority is going to be this triple bond, the carbon with the triple bond on it. And then it's going to be this last group right here. And then followed, our last one is going to be the methyl group. So this dashed line indicates that this, in like the spatial area that this is in, this goes behind the rest of them. So you have to flip it over, and when you flip it over, I think that'll give you a better sense of the direction you go in. R means that you're going in the clockwise direction, while S means you're going in the counterclockwise direction. So I'm going to redraw this real quick so we can see. Okay, I'm gonna label this as this now because it's gonna be in the front. And then we're gonna have our triple bond. Let's use a different color. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3 up here. 3 is this whole leg. So it's gonna go, remember we flip it because this indicates that it's in the back and now we're flipping it to the front. 1, 2, 3, and then it comes back around. Because 4 is where you hold it from, and then it'll spin around that. So you can see it's going counterclockwise. It indicates S. So let's put all this together now. So we have 3S. What else we have off the 3? A methyl. And then we'll put hex here for the 6 carbon chain. 4 ene, because we have our triple bond off of carbon number 4. And then 3 ol, because we have the alcohol off of carbon number 3. Perfect. That is our answer. Let's move on to the next one. Same thing. We're going to start by labeling our carbon chain. So we have 7 carbons in this chain. So it's going to be hept. We have a triple bond at carbon number 1. Oh, there we go. Carbon number 3, we have a double bond. And what else we got going on here? Oh, we have 2 methyl groups. So at 4 and at 5, we have 2 methyls, so dimethyl. Awesome. That looks like everything. Okay, before we can put it all together, we need to look and see what kind of stereochemistry we have. So let's see, 5. Carbon number 5, we can label it R or S. So remember, R clockwise, S counterclockwise. So let's look at this real quick. Okay, what is going to get our first one? This is the biggest group coming off of it. So 1, 2, 3. It'll go in this direction. I'll just label it like this. There we go. Kind of awkward looking, but there you go. So R, it's going to be going clockwise, so R. So our 5 is going to get an R. Let's write that right there so we know not to forget when we're writing it all out. And 3, off of a double bond, we can decide if the substituent groups are on the same side or the opposite side. When substituent groups are on the same side, it's Z. When substituent groups are on the opposite side, it's labeled as E. So looking at this, I know this is a straight line, but imagine in your head you kind of have to flip it or decide where it would bend. So looking at this, you can see that our substituent groups off of this carbon and this carbon, looking at carbon 3 and carbon 4, they're going to be on opposite sides, so E. So I'm going to put a little parenthesis right here, E. It's not where you label it, but just know that the 3 double bond has a E. Okay, so let's throw this all together. I know it can be a little confusing when we have little subnotations and all that. All right, let's see. 4, 5R, don't forget the R, dimethyl. Let's see. We can actually throw the hept right here if we want to. Dimethyl hept. 3E. En, because we drop the second E when we have it in the middle of the word. So N now. -1. And then that's our triple bond. Perfect. Or you can also write it like this. Don't forget the comma. Both ways are correct. Your teacher might have a preference, but either way it's correct. I'm just moving now the hept to a different location. So I'm going to put hept like this instead. I'm going to throw with the double bond group, but it doesn't matter. However your teacher prefers or you prefer, either way is correct. So box these guys up because they are both correct. Excellent. Okay, moving on to the next one. Let's see, same thing, label our carbon chain. When you have double bond, triple bond, and an alcohol group, the alcohol group is going to get the lowest number on the carbon chain. So you wouldn't start in this direction, 1, 2, 3, because you won't remember. You want the alcohol group to have the lowest carbon number. Okay, perfect. So we know it's going to be a hept because we have 7. We also know that off of carbon number 2 is an alcohol group. Carbon number 3 is going to be our triple bond. Carbon number 5, our double bond. Awesome, I think that's everything. Except for, let's see now, going back, carbon number 2, we can label this S or R. So let's decide what we want to label what. Okay, so our highest priority group is going to be our alcohol group, so I'm going to label this with the 1. Okay. Our next group will be the triple bond down here. Perfect. And the group after that will be this methyl group, 3. Perfect. So, doing it out, we could see that, that looks like it's going counterclockwise, so it's going to be S. So let's go ahead and label the 2 right here is going to have an S. So I'm writing it behind, it's going to be 2S together in parentheses, but just so we know that not to forget to write the 2S when we're putting the alcohol group down. Okay, the next thing we can look at is right here at 5, we have a double bond, which means that right here, our substituent groups are either on the same side or opposite sides of the double bond. So looking at this picture, you can see here that we have one substituent group right here and one right here off of the carbons 5 and 6, so those are opposite sides. Okay, so it's going to be E. If this side was flipped up and it was kind of like a square, they would be the same side, Z, but remember, opposite sides. So here where 5 is, we'll just write that it's going to get an R with it. Okay. I'm sorry. Did I say R? I meant E. E and Z is what we're talking about. E, same side, Z, I'm sorry, E, opposite side, Z, same side. Okay. Sorry, there's a lot going on with this problem. Okay, let's write it all out so we know what we have. Okay. 5E, throw that in parentheses. Hept for 7. Hepten, because our double bond's right there, so En we'll throw at the end. 3. Remember, drop the E on en because we have it in the middle of the word. Then we have our 2S, don't forget the S. Oh, for the alcohol group. Perfect, that looks like it's everybody. Yep, it is, okay. So that's the answer. Okay, last one. Same thing. We are gonna label our carbon chain. Okay, so 6. 6 is hex. Okay. We have, oh, you know what? I forgot to draw something on here. There we go. Okay. Because remember, when we're doing this, labeling our carbon chain, the alcohol group gets the lowest carbon. So off of 2, we have an alcohol group. Let's see, what else we got going on here? 1, 2, 3. 3, we have a double bond. Okay. 4, we have a methyl group coming down. 4 meth. Oh, there we go. And at carbon number 6, we have a bromo group. Awesome. We also, however, have, let's see, off of carbon number 2, this is where we can decide if we have R or S for the stereochemistry. Let's see. We can label this with a different color. So our alcohol group will get 1. The next biggest one is going to be this carbon right here, because it has all this off of it. 1, 2, and then the methyl. And the 4th is the hydrogen. That's always the lowest priority, so it's at the bottom. Think of it as way down there. Okay, so 1 to 2, that's going to 2 to 3, and then back around. So that is clockwise, so that's going to be R. Okay, so remember, this right here, we're just going to write in parentheses R. So don't forget to write that. What else? Oh, we have a double bond, which means that we can decide if our substituent groups are on the same side or the opposite side. So looking at this, we can see that our substituent groups are on the opposite side. So I'm going to write E here for opposite. Sweet. Okay, let's piece it all together for this last one right here. All right, so 6 bromo, 3E, hexane, remember drop the last E when we're in the middle of the word, 4 methyl, 2R, what's an R? There we go, perfect. All right. If this made sense, or if it didn't make sense, please leave a comment below and I will clear up any confusion you might have.